Chapter 1. The holographic principle, as traditionally understood, suggests that all information contained within a three-dimensional space is encoded onto a lower-dimensional boundary, most notably the event horizon of a black hole. But rather than existing as a static projection, this encoding may itself follow a fractalized self-similarity, repeating at various scales. Imagine reality as a recursive structure, where each level mirrors the patterns of the one before and after it. A black hole's event horizon can be viewed as a fractal ledger, storing information not merely as a flat imprint but as an infinitely layered, self-replicating framework. Every quantum interaction within the black hole contributes to a cascade of iterations, reinforcing the idea that what happens on the largest scale is reflected in the smallest. This perspective allows us to reinterpret spacetime itself, not as a smooth, continuous fabric but as a nested hierarchy of informational patterns. The deeper one dives, the more structure emerges, like zooming into the Mandelbrot set, where complexity unfolds at every magnification. Could this fractal layering be the missing link between relativity and quantum mechanics? If spacetime and information are intertwined in such a recursive way, it would imply that the universe is not just holographic, it is a holographic fractal, generating its own geometry through continuous iteration. This reframing opens the door to a more unified understanding of black hole entropy, entanglement, and even the fundamental nature of existence itself. Chapter 2: The Silent Architect, Gravity and the Four Fundamental Forces. The universe, at its deepest level, is shaped by four fundamental forces. Strong nuclear force binds protons and neutrons together, holding atomic nuclei intact with near unbreakable strength. Weak nuclear force governs radioactive decay, playing a crucial role in processes like fusion in stars. Electromagnetic force, responsible for electricity, magnetism, and light, dominating atomic interactions. Gravity, the architect of spacetime, bending reality itself under the weight of mass and energy. Yet gravity stands apart. Unlike the nuclear and electromagnetic forces, which shape atomic structure with overwhelming intensity, gravity is weak, almost absurdly so. A simple magnet can lift a paperclip against the entire gravitational pull of the Earth, defying a force that supposedly governs planets, stars, and black holes. But therein lies gravity's paradox: it is weak, yet it is universal. Unlike the other three forces, which vary wildly across quantum iterations, gravity remains constant through every layer of reality. No matter the scale, whether subatomic or cosmic, the bending of spacetime operates at the same strength. A black hole in one iteration of reality exerts the same gravitational influence as one in another. Electromagnetic forces may fluctuate across different iterations, strong nuclear bonds may differ, but gravity is the unshaken foundation threading through all versions of existence. This suggests that gravity is not merely a force but the scaffolding of spacetime itself, an intrinsic property rather than a fluctuating interaction. It bends, stretches, warps, but never changes in magnitude across iterations. Gravity is the one true invariant, the silent architect, ensuring that no matter how reality shifts, fractures, or scales, spacetime itself remains stitched together with the same gravitational constant. Could this be the key to unification? If gravity is the only force that remains consistent across fractalized iterations, does that mean spacetime itself is the most fundamental structure, while the other forces are mere emergent properties within it? This chapter sets the stage for deeper exploration into quantum mechanics and the one-electron theory, where fractalized recursion further reveals itself at the smallest scales. That unified constant is what binds them together. Gravity isn't just another force like electromagnetism or the nuclear interactions, it's fundamentally woven into spacetime itself. Unlike the other three forces, which rely on particle exchanges, like photons for electromagnetism or gluons for the strong force, gravity emerges from the shape and curvature of spacetime. Because spacetime itself is the invariant framework across infinite iterations, gravity remains the only force that functions identically at every scale. It doesn't need a mediator particle in the way other forces do. It simply arises as a natural consequence of spacetime's curvature, adjusting itself to mass and energy but always maintaining its fundamental strength. This means gravity is not just an interaction happening within spacetime, it is an intrinsic property of spacetime itself. While other forces may fluctuate across iterations, gravity remains consistent because it is the expression of spacetime's geometric structure, ensuring that no matter how reality fractalizes, space and time remain bound by the same governing principles. This perspective could shift the entire approach to unification. Gravity is not missing a quantum counterpart, it is already embedded in the deeper fractal architecture of reality. Chapter 3: The Quantum Ghost, One Electron, Infinite Realities. At the heart of quantum mechanics lies an unsettling proposition: particles do not exist in a single, definite state but instead hover in a superposition of possibilities, only collapsing into a concrete reality when observed. This phenomenon forms the backbone of quantum mechanics, dictating everything from the behavior of electrons to the fate of entire atoms. But what if there was only one electron, a single, immortal particle threading its way through spacetime, creating the illusion of countless electrons through quantum recursion? The one-electron theory, originally proposed by John Archibald Wheeler, suggests that every electron in the universe is simply the same electron moving back and forth through time, creating duplicates of itself in the past, present, and future. In this framework, quantum superposition and entanglement cease to be mysterious accidents. They become natural consequences of an underlying fractalized self-similarity. If all electrons are merely reflections of the same singular entity, then entanglement is not a connection between two separate particles, but rather the alignment of different iterations of the same particle across time. The vast quantum sea is not filled with distinct objects but instead a network of echoes, repeating patterns of the same foundational entity. Chapter 4: Dark Matter and Dark Energy. Since we've established that gravity is the one constant across all iterations, this suggests that matter across different fractal layers still affects spacetime, but may not always manifest visibly within our specific iteration. If reality unfolds as a holographic fractal, then dark matter may be mass energy encoded at a different fractal scale, exerting gravitational influence without existing within the observable electromagnetic framework of our iteration. This would mean that dark matter is not truly missing or inherently undetectable, it simply exists as a shadowed iteration of mass, influencing the universe through gravity while remaining outside our direct perception. The same way entangled particles appear instantly connected across spacetime, dark matter may be a gravitational echo of matter in higher or lower fractalized layers of reality, bending the fabric of spacetime without appearing in our immediate spectrum. If this is the case, then perhaps dark energy, the force accelerating the expansion of the universe, is also an iteration effect, emerging as the net influence of self-replicating gravitational distortions across fractal scales. Could these seemingly invisible forces be evidence that reality itself extends beyond what our iteration allows us to perceive? Through every scale of reality, revealing a profound symmetry. The law of correspondence whispers, as above, so below, what shapes galaxies shapes atoms, what bends spacetime molds quantum uncertainty. Reality unfolds as an infinite fractal, each layer a reflection of the whole, not chaos but recursive order, the fingerprint of God pressed into the fabric of existence. Black holes, one electron appearing to be quadrillions, the curvature of spacetime bound by the same fractalized harmony. Perhaps existence is not merely governed by equations but by divine recursion, where every iteration whispers the same universal truth: all is connected, and all is one. Gravity, constant across all iterations, reveals spacetime as the fundamental framework, uniting forces that appear separate only in perception and when they are observed. Quantum entanglement and gravitational curvature are not contradictions but echoes of a single recursive principle, the most grand pattern repeating itself in both directions for infinity but still have bounds and closed structure. Playing out across magnifications of reality's grand design. A fractal does not merely repeat, it unifies. And in understanding this self-similarity, we do not just unveil physics, we glimpse the mind of creation itself.